Plus Professionals, we are eager to hear what recommendation you have for us. So whenever you're ready, we're ready.
Thank you for inviting us here today. We are the Plush Professionals Consulting Group, and my name is Taylor Zabel.
My name is Sebastian Barroso.
I'm Alita Joseph.
I'm Samantha Hurst.
And I'm Ryan Hunt.
So, after careful consideration of all of the data, we believe that you should convert the Wisconsin plant to Ultra Plush and the Arkansas plant to Soft and Strong. We will go through this plan in a three-step process. First, with implementation, which we believe you should take a proactive approach upon, followed by risks and rewards associated with this plan, and we will conclude with a marketing strategy. With that, I'll hand it over to Ali.
So our plan of action is to switch both the Arkansas and Wisconsin mills. And the way we will do this is start with the Arkansas mill first. And the reason for doing so is because Soft and Strong is our main source of revenue. And as Jason Allen had mentioned before, we don't want to let that go. So we'll have a 15-day period in which employees at the Arkansas mill will work overtime to create a surplus of Ultra Plush. And then we'll have a 30-day period for the actual conversion itself. For the Wisconsin mill, we'll have an 83-day period in which we will be producing Soft and Strong at both the Wisconsin and the Arkansas mill. And this will also be done to meet consumer demand again. So with that, we'll have 50 days for the Wisconsin conversion, giving us a total of 218 days to follow through with this plan. Now, of course, there are costs associated with this, which Taylor will be discussing next.
Right, so as every company wants to know, they want to know the costs associated with the specific plan. To start off, during the 15-day or 361-hour overtime period, which your workers will work, Glassdoor.com says that your average worker's salary is $16 an hour. We recommend that you pay these workers standard 1.5 time overtime pay during this 361-hour period. So 361 hours times $24 an hour times the 1,400 workers that are at the Arkansas plant equates to a total cost of approximately $12.1 million for the reserve period. During the 30-day conversion of the Arkansas plant, you will incur a conversion cost of approximately $5.1 million. But we also recommend that during this time, you give your workers quarter pay for retention and ethical reasons. And this equates to a total cost of approximately $6.4 million for the 1,400 workers at the Arkansas plant. During the 83-day period, where your workers will all be working normal time, you will incur a net cost of $0. And finally, during the 50-day period where the Wisconsin plant will be converted, you will have a conversion cost of $5.5 million, as well as, which we recommend again, quarter pay for this 50-day period for the 1,700 workers at the Wisconsin plant, which brings it to a total cost of this period of approximately $8.2 million. This gives you a total cost of approximately $26.8 million for the entire 218-day period of the plan. With that, I will hand it over to risks and rewards.
Thank you. In any business endeavor, it is of the utmost importance to evaluate all the risks in our plan. To, of course, know what the risks are and be able to address them, and of course, know what the rewards will be at the end. So, the Plush Professionals have divided these risks and rewards into 3 categories: cost, time, and competitive advantage. In terms of cost risks, finding the most economically advantageous path among the paths that we could have taken has been one of our main focuses, because this will, of course, determine what the end reward will be compared to any other path that we could have taken. Second, the change in production that will occur due to our proposed plan will, of course, produce an end change in the price. Making sure that the marketability of our product is as positive as possible is very important. And third, because there will be a 9%, there's expected to be a 9% increase in the demand of luxury toilet paper in the next 5 years, the long-term risk for Quilted Northern is that they will not receive a return on investment by the time that they have to expand to meet the future demands. To that, I'll pass it on to Ryan.
As Sebastian said, there are many risks associated with our plan. However, we see that the rewards far outweigh those risks. And one of the first risks you might be thinking of off the bat is, why are we paying these workers so much in overtime costs? And if Quilted Northern were not to take our proactive approach, they would lose about $14 million in lost revenue during the Arkansas expansion alone. So with our overtime pay, you save about $2.3 million, and instead of losing $14 million, you'll get about $2.3. Also with our plan, you'll see about a $6 per case cost reduction in total cost of Ultra Plush, because our plan leverages the lower production and materials costs of the Wisconsin mill. So you can do two things with these. Either one, you can pass the $6 savings on to the consumer, sell more of your product and increase revenues, or you can keep this $6 in-house and increase your total bottom line. And finally, you'll save about $165.7 million compared to the Arkansas expansion plan. And this will amount in a huge amount of flexibility for your company. As Sebastian stated, we want to make sure that you aren't revisiting this same problem in a short amount of time. And with the Arkansas expansion plan, you'll be revisiting this problem in 3 years. Thanks to our plan, in 6.5 years, you'll again reach max capacity and have to revisit this period in this question. So here we have a basic cost curve, and you can see our line is the blue, and Arkansas expansion would be the purple. So not only do you reach break-even point quicker, but you'll make total revenues faster than the Arkansas expansion plan. Now, not pictured would be switching the Oregon mill and the Arkansas mill, and while we did consider that, we quickly eliminated it because of its higher production and materials costs, as well as its higher shipping costs.
In terms of time risks, the pause in production that will occur during the switch of plants becomes a risk for the company, because we are already, of course, the company is already struggling to keep the demands in the current conditions. So making sure that we address this problem so that we don't lose customers to the competitors is incredibly important. Ryan will elaborate on this along with other points.
So as he said, we don't want Quilted Northern losing market share because they're losing production. So as we said, our proactive approach will eliminate that problem and you'll be able to satisfy market demand. Not only that, 102 days will be saved compared to the Arkansas expansion plan, which again amounts in huge amounts of flexibility for your company because Quilted Northern will be able to focus on key business processes instead of having money tied up elsewhere. And Jackie, you've said you have immense experience in both the Ultra Plush and the Soft and Strong brands. And so we believe that we'll be able to leverage your experience to minimize inefficiencies and decrease the amount of time and rough transition periods that we'll have.
In terms of competitive advantage, the elephant in the room is how, due to our proposed changes, we will decrease the production of 600,000 cases of Soft and Strong a year. Ryan will explain why this is in the best interest of the company due to what the projected changes in the market will be. Ryan?
So as Sebastian mentioned, we see a 9% growth in the demand for luxury toilet papers according to Euromonitor.com in the next 5 years. Now this is compared to a 6% growth in the demand for standard toilet paper such as the Soft and Strong. So clearly, in order to maximize profits and to jump on this new and growing segment of the market, Quilted Northern needs to focus there. So with our additional 600 cases per year of Ultra Plush, you'll be able to satisfy the demand, the increasing demand across the nation, and you'll be able to target more underserved regions and increase your revenues and your total market share.
Because you will be producing more Ultra Plush, a change in marketing strategy will also be necessary. Rather than promoting Soft and Strong, which already has an established customer base, you should be promoting Ultra Plush, which is yet to develop that customer loyalty. As indicated by the graph, we have identified the Midwest as a target area for growth of Ultra Plush because it has seen such a historically low demand there. In order to successfully market the product in this area, we would suggest evaluating census data to identify key groups of people who would have a higher amount of disposable income and would therefore be more likely to purchase a luxury toilet paper. To determine these people, well, if you determined that these groups of people were younger professionals, we would recommend targeting them through avenues such as social media, which is what they use with most frequency. Whereas if you found that those with higher disposable incomes were older, we would recommend targeting them through more traditional routes, such as TV commercials and ads in newspapers.
So we've covered implementation, our risks and rewards, and our marketing strategy. So with that, thank you so much, and we'll open the floor up to questions that you may have.
Why are you focusing on the Midwest region when the other regions are doing so much stronger? Why put the time and effort in the Midwest when we know it's kind of been staying stable?
Olivia, that's a great question. And one of the things you'll notice based on the demand is that in a lot of the regions, it's starting to plateau. Specifically in the West Coast and the East Coast, you had huge demand and huge increases in demand. However, it started to level off a bit. So while there will, like we said, a 9% increase, they'll continue to go up. We see specifically that the Midwest is an area that could be used for growth. Since we have this extra demand of Ultra Plush, you'll be able to serve that region more well, you'll be able to shift your marketing strategy, and therefore increase your total revenues and your market share because you'll be capitalizing on an area that potentially your competitors are not as well.
Do we have time for one more?
Yeah,
Okay.
one more, yeah.
So I'm glad you addressed the issue of our of being short on capacity for soft and strong, because that was definitely a note that I made that I'm concerned about. So you haven't convinced me that that's going to be okay. So can we try that one more time? So we're going to go with a unproven demand and a proven demand, right? And we're going to take away the capacity for the proven demand.
Yes.
So sell that to me one more time.
Well,
Shall I go?
yeah, go ahead, please.
Sure. We have identified a shift in the market. According to our research, economy lines such as soft and strong, they're growing at a rate of 6%. And according to our research, luxury lines such as Ultra Plus are growing at a rate of 9%. Also, we have seen that that the Ultra Plush has grown since the year 2000. Oh, I'm sorry, the luxury line since the year 2000 by 70%, and just in the year 2013 alone by about 30%. We're seeing a great market shift. So we're seeing that your company could greatly benefit by shifting to a more luxurious line, and therefore also benefit from the increased revenue that you obtain from the premium cost of that product. So we definitely think and believe that by the way of marketing, you'll be able to shift because it's inversely correlated of sales of economy and luxury lines. People tend to switch, not buy both. That you'll be able to more greatly profit from selling more of the luxury line.
Yeah, just to add on to that, you can definitely see through the demand for both, there's an obvious inverse relationship between the two. Because if you look from a consumer standpoint, it makes sense. I would not go out to buy the Quilted Northern Soft and Strong and then also buy the Ultra Plush. I would buy one or the other. So as demand for one increases, demand for the other would slow down and decrease as well. So combined with our marketing strategy and as well as the demand that we've mentioned, you'll be able to offset, despite the fact that you will have less soft and strong produced, it'll be offset by enough in shifting demand and trends in the nation and within your company.
We've only paid them for 15 minutes.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, we don't want to get billed for overtime. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, thanks.